I was living in Town Hall, CBD area. I think it was Cunningham Street, something like that. Yeah, it was right at the center. It was walking distance to all the big malls. I don't even remember the name. No, no, no. One funny thing I can tell you was I was someone who appreciate privacy a lot, and I like convenience. So I was willing to work more jobs just to pay off my rental. It was very stupid. It was one of the most stupid decision I've ever had. When I was living in town hall, I was so broke that it was quite tough. Yeah, it was very tough. At a certain point, I couldn't pay the rental. No, no, no. I was already working, so I have to work multiple jobs just to pay off the rental. Yeah. I think it was $800 a week, if I'm not wrong. I forgot it was 600 or $800 a week. Yeah, because in Australia they pay rental by a weekly on a weekly basis, right? If I again, it's been so many years, yeah, on a weekly basis. It's not like in Malaysia or in any typical Asian country or even Western countries, we pay by monthly or fortnight. Yeah. I think it was $800 per fortnight. Sorry, not weekly. Weekly is a bit crazy. It was $800 per fortnight. Australian dollar, sorry, not US dollar. But it was so many years ago. Now probably a lot more expensive. Yeah, correct. So Victor said now it's probably over 1.5K in the same rental. Correct, correct. But Australia was great. It was really fun. The only thing I know is Bondi Beach is super crowded right now. Okay, how's everyone's performance this week? Did you all shorted gold or anything? Yeah, gold was good. Gold was kind. Aussie yen wasn't. Took a loss on Aussie yen. Um, and I'm still waiting. So took two wins on gold. Back to back. Yeah, holding GU short. Good. How about the rest of you? Jason. Yeah. In Australia, they pay per fortnight. If I wasn't mistaken, you pay a rental per fortnight. Fortnight means every 2 weeks. Yeah. How's all of your performance? Did y'all take any trade this week? How's everything? Two BEs for Victor. Yeah. The rest of you was a good week. Yeah, I know. It was a really good week for Carrick. I know. So Yanis, one loss on Aussie Yen, one BE on ES. Yeah, I took a loss on Aussie Yen as well. A win on gold. So I took two losses on Aussie Yen and dollar Swiss. Let me see dollar Swiss. What kind of setup did you trade on dollar Swiss? Just out of curiosity. I can't see anything from here. I really can't see anything. Seems like market is just ranging. So 1 hour Aussie yen, 1 hour Aussie yen loss and EA 2 hour short. Good one, Damian. So Desmond say join on Thursday, took a loss on Aussie yen. But I still have to say this, please don't take this like a signal group where you just copy my trade. Yeah, because no matter what, our size could be different. Yeah. And I have a very rigid grading system. Some of them I risk more, some I risk less, some of my day trading account, some on my swing account. So everyone has different account size, lot size, and everything. So Jamal say I'm just trading no trades. Okay. So Jason say 1% drawdown, waiting for Dows. 1 hour TPF. Okay. So let's go. Sorry. Let's go into the calendar first. So we got yen holiday tomorrow, yen holiday on Tuesday as well. This week is still okay. Yeah, just that on Thursday midnight, for some of you, especially if you're on the US time zone or London time zone, then probably is Wednesday night. So we have the FOMC on Thursday midnight Malaysia time. For majority of your gain, it should be Wednesday. Then besides that, we have some Canadian news. It's still okay. So if I see we have a FOMC coming up, most of the time I don't expect a lot of movement on the dollar pass. Yeah, that's just the way I trade. If I see we got FOMC, then I personally wouldn't go too heavy on my sizing as well. Uh, Monday, Tuesday, we got yen bank holiday. So if you are looking to trade, maybe you can focus on let's have a look at EA, right? Sometimes I will try to see which one doesn't have any news, then I'll try to trade the pair. So Thursday we got the French bank holiday, so it affected euro, but Monday to Wednesday seems like euro is nothing. So sometimes I will try to read the news and see which pair is not affected, then I'll try to trade the pair. Anyway, let's break down every single thing, everything together. So DXY, if you look at the daily time frame, this is definitely still bearish. Talked about this so many times because we have a weekly meeting every single Sunday. So if you have been following up with our weekly meeting, you probably already know what I'm going to say. So DXY, we're still on a massive downtrend. We have been calling DXY weakness since the very top, since 107.50 when it was doing a TPF here. If you're all been following us for long enough, on early March, we already said DXY is weak. Ever since then, we technically just expect more selling pressure, more selling pressure, more selling pressure on the DXY. And that's exactly why we look for longs on the cross dollar pairs, right? Many of you secured many R's on pound dollar, euro dollar, except for Aussie dollar. So DXY clearly bearish as long as price is still holding below this 100.70 zone. We expect more selling pressure on the dollar index. Even just share with you all where's our invalidation point, or so-called the defense line. Even if I see DXY fake out this 100.70 zone and it pulls all the way up into 102.8, this is still on a seller's market because we have already broken below this 102.8. Even if price pulls back deep, just remember this is still bearish on the big picture. So Carrot asked, Neil, right to say gold right now isn't really in correlation with the XY. Yes, correct. I stopped studying gold cross DXY correlation for a very long time. Back then, they were very reliable. That means if DXY goes up, gold will most likely to go down. But ever since, I forgot how many months was it, they just don't work that well anymore. So there's no point studying DXY and gold correlation. It was way before Trump steps in fact. It was way before that. So JPYX, if you look at the price action, we actually broke below this 764, which was the level that I mentioned. I expect JPYX to hold above. So right now, as we broke below, I'm not too quick to judge. If you all know my trading style, I'm not someone who will say, oh, we broke below this 764. That means JPYX is going to drop all the way down. Not really. That's not the way I trade. I much prefer assessing first, since we only have technically two candle close on a daily, closing below this 764. You will never know if price decide to do a TPF and close back above. So just don't be too quick to judge. So Nash say, how about correlation between gold and JPYX? They're not related. They are just not related. Okay. So JPYX, I'm still bullish, but I do acknowledge that in the short term, we are seeing a break below 764. So I'm just observing. So just want to discuss gold for now. So gold is the setup where it gave us a 3R win if it took the exact same trade. We took a sell limit order. If I just plot out why did we look for short in the first place? Gold has been on a massive uptrend for a very long time, ever since price printed the TPF here at 33.55. That was exactly when we say we are expecting bearish momentum. So if you drop down onto the 1 hour, our entry this week was exactly as, wait, let me check. I even forgot my entry. So it was right here. It was at this lower zone. So you might be wondering, why did I look for short at here around 33.41? Why not look for short at the top? It was exactly because we have already taken a position here last week. We have already taken a short and it went very well, also a 3-hour trade. And that's why when a TPF level has been tested multiple times, we simply don't expect price to go all the way back up into 33.60 resistance. So it was then I say we're looking to shift our entry lower, our resistance lower, because besides this 33.65 level, where's the following resistance? If we move one step down, it will be here, this 33.40 zone. So 33.40 is almost the only zone that I can see here. Not really, it's a bit messy. That's why we had a sell limit order here. And yeah, price dropped, then hit TP. I'm not sure if any of you took another entry. There was actually another short entry this week, but I personally didn't take it, which was here. It's a bit mid-range, it's out of nowhere. Mid-range means we have a support here at 32.70 and we have a resistance at 33.50 area. And price just bounced very aggressive. I know some of you took longs here, but I was still standing on my ground. I say I'm not looking to long gold because price have already respected the TPF so well. We expect short-term selling pressure. So if any of you held gold all the way from our entry level, 33.41, held it all the way down, then it's probably a very, very good mean reversion trade. So I'm still looking to short gold. And in fact, I have a sell limit order at 32.73, 32.7308 to be specific. It was right here. I have a sell limit order here, stop loss around this area. And price didn't tap my entry if you go back a bit. So we did have the pullback that we wanted to see, we're expecting, but price didn't come back to tap us in, which is okay because now it seems like we are still there. Seems like we're still there. My limit order is still on. If price comes back, I actually removed my limit order before the Friday news. If I go back to the calendar. So on Friday, 2 days ago, we had the unemployment rate. That's why I removed my order before the news, according to our rule. So when we have a news approaching, if let's say 2-3 hours before the news, my position is still not yet triggered, I'll remove my limit order. That's the number one rule. Second rule is if let's say before 2-3 hours before the news, price is still sitting around my BE or small loss or small profit, I will also close out my position. I will only hold a position through a major news based on two occasions. First one is if I have a very big stop loss. If let's say the position is based on a swing trade opportunity, then I'll just leave it to run. If I have a 50 pip stop loss, 70 pip stop loss, I'll leave it to run. Because no matter what, the worst case scenario, it is very difficult for me to get slipped out for extra 1 hour, 2 hour loss. I'm very protected with my static 1 hour loss. Second is if, let's say, I really feel like the opportunity is very strong and my price position is so good, then I will still consider holding. That's a second scenario. But when you're trading on a prop firm, I will still suggest you don't take unnecessary risk. So long story short, go, I'm still having my limit order here. So 32.73.08. Stop loss will be using this mini swing high to guide my stop loss. And that's it. So I have a position here, still waiting for price to come back. We'll see. So besides gold, Aussie yen, I just want to discuss Aussie yen first. So actually quite a few of you asked me, am I looking for a re-entry on Aussie yen or am I not? What's the exact reason? So when we first started looking for sell on Aussie yen, it was based on, just want all of you to have a quick recap. It was based on this clear downtrend. So we have a clear lower high, lower high, lower high, break of structure, and we expect more lower high to be printed. But if I put on a replay mode, my initial plan was actually to short around 92.87, and my zone was a little bit lower. So it was right here. If I zoom in, you can probably see we have a break and a retest of this zone here. Can you all see on the left? So I told y'all I wanted to see two possible scenarios. First one is price come back, tap, and we just push below, offering us a lower TPF entry, which is here, which price actually did. It did fulfill our scenario. That's why we took a short. Second scenario was if I put on a replay again, was this. If let's say price falls break the high, come back below, I'm also looking for a TPF entry to the downside. That was two scenarios that we had. So price fulfilled our first scenario. It actually closed back below the zone, confirming the continuation TPF pattern. That's why we took a short. And price has some drawdown at the very beginning. Went okay. We actually had some sell-off here. And then we eventually just reversed back up. So I took a full 1 hour loss on this one. So if I'm looking for a re-entry on Aussie yen, just remember, especially if you're new here, we have a 2-entry attempt rule. So if let's say we took one loss, we are only allowed to re-enter one more time. So we call it the power of 2 attempts. So if it's over 2 attempts, it's considered over-risking or overexposing on one specific trade idea. So I won't be looking for any short until I see price again close back below this 92.3 zone. Until I see this scenario happen, I will not be taking any short because a very common issue is again revenge trading. Price stops you out and you keep trying to catch more knife, catch more falling knife, catch more falling knife, and it's endless. The loophole goes on and on and on. You can still continue shorting here, and you get stopped out again, and then you short again, and then you say, oh, there's a resistance here, you short again, or there's a resistance here, you short again. How many of you have ever have this thing happen before? I think it's quite common, right? Especially at the very beginning of your journey. You don't have rule, you don't have a re-entry rule, you get stopped out, and then you start extending your level, and then you get stopped out again, you extend the level further, the level further. The same thing goes to a flag pattern. Some of you, especially when some of the senior here, when they first joined, they will take a long here, price goes up, stops them out. Then they start extending the trend line. This is very similar to this exact re-entry scenario. So just remember, for Aussie yen, I won't be re-entering until it fulfill our re-entry scenario, which is waiting for a closure below 92.3. Jamal said, yes, this thing takes over many times, correct. So this is technically just gambling. So trading without a plan. So besides that, for majority of the dollar pairs, I'm still observing. See, when we trade kangaroo coin, it didn't play out. When we don't trade kangaroo coin, surprisingly played out very well. So this kangaroo coin has a curse. Just kidding. So you see, I broke even on my Aussie dollar position. Again, it was again based on my rule. So I had to break even on the position because it chopped around my entry too many times and eventually go back up again. So it's okay. I won't be looking to trade Aussie dollar yet until I see the following BNR, which will be a break above 0.6495 zone. If I see a break above, I'll look for another entry. Another scenario would be if it pulls back deep into 0.6287, I'll also be looking for another entry. So that's pretty much it for this week. I still can't see anything. So let's talk about dollar yen first. So I talk about this many times as well. I'm still looking to short dollar yen, but I'm waiting for a pullback into 146.78 to be specific. And I'm looking for a pullback short opportunity. That's it. So I'll talk about this in our setups breakdown video as well tomorrow. Besides that, nothing much. So pound Aussie, Euro Aussie, looks like we're exhausted in the short term, but I'll go through it if I see any opportunity. Okay. So any questions? So Yannick say, hey Neil, can I have your opinion on BTC BNR around 95300? I don't personally trade a BNR just based on one level. So if all of you look at Yannick comment, so he said he's looking for a BNR here, right? Yannick? So I don't personally like to get involved in such a so-called lack of confluence BNR. I much prefer trading a BNR if I have more confirmation or more confluence. To me, a good level to go long if you're bullish will be 92,000, 92K. Okay, that's the only good level. I personally won't be looking to go long there. Okay, so when Vane say, can we have a look at Euro Aussie? So again, you can go long at this minor zone, Yannick. Just the probability of success will be lower. So let's have a look at EA. So EA, I remember in our previous call, I also said that EA seems like we're exhausted, right? So we have a very an ugly TPF here, not the prettiest one. Main reason being we don't have much information on the left. So when it comes to a high quality TPF, it has to hit or fake out a significant resistance. So the TPF wasn't as clear because this is the only thing that we see. Then besides that, we started printing exhaustions here and there. You can see here we have multiple exhaustions. We keep trying to hold above this 179.23. See, we have one attempt to go above, exhausted, then we come back below. But still, for any of you, if you ask me for EA confirmation for the past 1-2 weeks, I've been saying bearish, bearish, bearish because it looks very exhausted. This strong sell-off here tells me sellers are in control. And then we have further rejection here. Again, tells me sellers are in control. If you're looking to trade EA, in the short term, the only thing I can see is probably this very minor BNR here. But price have already done a retest. So when price have already done a retest, we don't normally expect price to go back to do another retest. So Vane is holding short from 179.43. Your entry is very safe. So I don't think you need to worry about anything. And I believe, yeah, normally when you see such a, this is considered quite a deep pullback or so-called exhaustion. So when you see such a strong exhaustion pattern, we should be revisiting some of the key level, like 170.83. So I would say you can hold it for now because there's nothing you can manage as well. There's nothing you can manage unless you want to start trailing your stops at all these candles high, but it doesn't make too much sense. For now, just hold it. I'll say the minor one will be here, but normally this kind of minor level won't hold as well. So just hold it. We should be revisiting 170.8. 1.7080. So in BTC, is it also range breakout on the lower time frame? You mean, wait, who was it asking? I think Jama, right? You mean this breakout here? Jama, is it? Yeah, indeed. But this is a lower time frame breakout. Normally, the level won't hold that strong as opposed to this one. Which one do you think is stronger, here or here? Obviously here, right? Okay. So Jason asked for opinion on DAOs. If price failed to push above, is it still on the sell side? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because again, SNR, they are a zone. As much as previously we say, watch out this previous swing high here, but just because price broke above it slightly, it doesn't immediately say we're bullish. So what I can say is just observe it further because this is an entire zone. So observe further. My suggestion will be don't do anything for now and see if Dow will close back below the zone. That's my suggestion, Jason. If it close back, then that gives you a TPF short entry. If it does bounce again, then confirm we're bullish. Okay, if price can hold above this swing high, support now become resistance now becomes support. That is definitely a bullish signal, at least from a short term. Okay, I think it was Jason. Yeah. Tai Hong. Hi Neil, can I have your opinion on pound dollar? Uh, do you think pound uptrend has exhausted and heading downwards? There were two attempts to go further upwards but failed. One of my holding point is from 134.42. So you mean you have already shorted pound dollar, right? From 134.42. So just hold it. Just hold it. I'm still looking to go long. I'm still very bullish on pound dollar, just to let you know. But I won't be surprised to see some deep retracement. I'm personally still not looking for any entry. The only level you might need to watch out should be here. Should be around this 130, 160 zone. Just be more cautious at this level because previously we have did an aggressive bounce here. So no matter what, we're still on an uptrend. So when you're trading min reversion, you just have to be more cautious. Who was it again? Tai Hong. So just watch out this 131.75 here. This key swing low here. If price can breaks further, should be hitting a lot further. But besides this level, I don't really see any level above. So your short position should be safe until 131 or just say 132 zone. That should be quite safe. When you're trading all these reversal or mean reversion setups, you can always close it TP first and re-enter later on. If we see further BNR, then you can re-enter later on. Because no matter what, you still need to remind yourself it's still bullish. It's still on an uptrend. So JX, I think I responded your question as well, right? So JX also asked about pound dollar. So short term wise, I'm not looking to touch pound dollar, except like Tai Hong here has already shorted since the top. So he has every right to hold it. I'm personally still leaning on to the buy. I'm observing 131.80. If it does pull back deeper, then probably the next one will be 130.33. Overall, I'm still bullish on pound dollar in the long term. But short term, we hit the previous resistance. We're coming back a little bit. Doesn't mean anything. So Sebastian asked, can you explain the difference between your trade management approach for scalp trades, which are closed before market closes versus intraday trades? Scalp trades, how do you define scalp, Sebastian? You mean like a 5 pip stop loss, 15 pips TP or what? Because day trade, intraday trades is also similar to scalps. It depends on how intense is your scalping system, right? Like 15 pip stop loss is still okay. 15 pip stop loss is okay. Trade management wise, they are all the same. But if you're more on the scalping side, I will still suggest you to close all your position based on swing high, swing low. That was my approach back then. Because when you're scalping, your stop loss is tight. It doesn't make sense for you to look for, crazy RR. When I was scalping back then, my stop loss, my trade management has always been very conservative. So mainly, I've a few rules. First one, if price cross 2R, I'll start BE, just like any of the typical textbook thing. But you just need to know when you are scalping, your objective is always to be, your win rate has to be a bit higher. If you have a 15 pip stop loss, it's not really scalping, Sebastian. Most of the scalper, they have a 5 pip stop loss, 8 pip stop loss. So you're not really scalping. You are more of just day trading. Yeah, I can just call you're just short-term trading. So your trade management should be no different from how I manage my position. For clear trend setup, you can just hold it with an open target, just trail your stops accordingly. For a range trade, just have a static TP. For min reversion setup, have your TP set at the previous swing high, swing low. If you see BOS, if you see further BNR, you continue shorting it or taking long into it. You get it, Sebastian? 15 pip stop loss is not really that aggressive, especially for dollar pairs. Right now, EJ is at the range high. Sorry, back to Sebastian again. So your trade management has no difference from mine. It's the exact same thing. Just that if you have a 15 pip stop loss, your entry position has to be very precise. One big headache about scalping is your entry position. Yeah, because the stop loss is tight. If you don't have a proper entry model, you get stopped out so often, it doesn't make sense for you to scalp eventually. So EJ is at the rate high of the range. Is it valid TPF trigger? Let me see EJ. I've not looked at EJ for some time. On the what time frame are you? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can see this. Oh, so yeah, it's also a good trade idea. You can definitely say this is a TPF, correct? Especially if I draw here, I can clearly see price have already faked out the high at 164 and it's coming back below. So if any of you want to trade EJ, you can take it. But for me personally, I don't really like the price action because it was so choppy. Yeah, you just see this period of consolidation. I don't like to trade into this kind of consolidation. So choppy, very messy. When I'm trading a range, as much as I always highlight, a range is a range. If price go back to resistance, we short the range, go back to support, we buy the range. But this thing here is very ugly. Yeah, so I won't be touching EJ for now. Just for me. If you personally see EJ as a range trade, you can still take it. Okay. Skip. So Yanis say, looking to long Kiwi dollar at about 0.585. Let's have a look at Kiwi dollar. The level looks very clean. If you were to long, would you look for a lower time frame reversal pattern? If you're looking to long Kiwi dollar here, you don't need to wait for an entry trigger because the BNR is very clean. You can technically just use buy limit to let it run. You get it? So Yanis, this kind of setup, you don't really have to wait for a specific trigger. I personally would say since the breakout was so significant, we should be respecting 0.5868 level. So yeah, just have an entry there. Just make sure your stop loss covers the low, two of these swing low, then it's fine. Okay. Like I said before, clean setup, the really simple BNR setup, allow limit orders to do the work, to do the job. You only wait for a trigger when you're trading min reversion or you're feeling unsure about the price action. So Jason, dollar Swiss seems retracing back to 0.84 zone, but with the strong impulse downwards, I'm not confident with shorting on that zone, even though it was my initial game plan and it is already stretched out. So let's have a look at dollar Swiss. Hey, where was it? I'm going shorting that zone. You can still short it. You can still short it because the breakout is still very clear. The breakdown is still very clear. If you're looking to trade BNR, dollar Swiss is also another BNR scenario. I think we talked about it last week already. Yeah, we're still waiting for the scenario to happen. Anyway, I don't actually, I don't trade dollar Swiss that often. Yeah, to be frank, I trade a lot on pound dollar, Aussie dollar, euro dollar, dollar CAD, all these pairs. I don't really trade dollar Swiss. No exact reason. If the zone is already broken, then retrace and continue run into the right direction. If later on price retraces back in the zone, it's fine. For some of you not know, so Rafael is basically saying if a zone has been broken and retested and go down already, when price comes back, is it okay to reshort? It's okay. If let's say the trend is so established, if the market structure is so clean, every time when price comes back, I will still short it. I would definitely still short it. I don't like to short into a price action when I see market do this. Like let's say I short it and price do this. This is the only time where I don't like to short into the BNR anymore because market seems like it's holding higher prices. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The same as gold if it goes back to 73. Let me see gold. Not really. Not really. It's a different story. Because oh yeah, correct. Because it's still BNR. If let's say gold come back again, come back to 32.73, fill up my sell limit order, I short it, I'll just let it run. Unless I see something like this, then I'll close it. Yeah. Gold is still okay because we haven't quite revisited the low. If price comes back, the short is still valid. It's still well valid. GABNR short. Let me see. Yeah, possible. So you can actually see a BNR here. Correct. Quite a clean one. I will close the trade. If price goes too choppy, I normally would just close the trade. Unless there are certain setups where I'll manage it as in I close it early. There are certain setups where I just hold it for a full loss. Those that hold it for a full loss are normally setups that I believe the price position is so good. I don't want to sacrifice it. So, okay, let's see if I can find an example. So assuming just ignore this is GA, ignore the price action, ignore the outcome. So assuming if I today were to go long on a pound Aussie, and if I buy here, my stop loss is right here. And price chop for 5, 6 times. The only reason why I don't close it is because I feel like the opportunities is big or my price position is so good. Every single time, remember, when we take a position, whether if you close it for BE, you manage it or whatever, every time put on the position is a risk. It's a new risk. As much as you trail your stops quick or whatever, there was still risk. There was probability where you just take the trade and just hit your stop loss, right? So if I feel like my price position is so good, I won't close it for BE and re-enter again and again. I might as well just hold it all the way because I know if price really starts running, it is very difficult for me to go back in because again, it'll be a complete different setup. It'll be a complete different opportunity. So I hope I answer your question well, Rafael. Uh, Thanks to Rafael again, bought my son the sticker. Now my desk, my mirror, my glass panel, everywhere are stickers. Everywhere. Every single place. This morning I was so mad because my son went on chop almost the entire house. The coffee table, the bedside table, my work desk, the mirror, the glass panel, got stick on your watch. Stick on my watch is still okay. So continue. Sorry, back to it. Yeah, so the Mian GABN are short, correct. So yeah, any more question? Any more question? You must be in need of refill now. I told my wife, please don't buy a refill. I told her. She might have bought it, I don't know. So any other question? Any questions? Any question? Any question? Kiwi dollar, I think I talked about Kiwi dollar already, but let's go through it again. So Kiwi dollar, I'm looking for a high time frame. You can call it a TPF entry or a pullback entry. So I'm looking to long Kiwi dollar at 0.5868. Sorry, I'm not looking to long, but I'm just sharing there's an opportunity. Okay, I personally don't trade Kiwi dollar. Is Shenrong here? Shenrong is not here, right? Wait, let me see. Is Shenrong here? Ah, Shenrong is not here today. Okay. Shenrong was so kind. He bought gift for my wife, my son, everyone. Such a kind person. You all should learn from Shenrong. He even wrote this. Let me show you all. Wait, where is it? He even wrote a whole letter for me. Oh my God, so touching. You all should learn from Shenrong. Yes. So much effort. He literally walked like 45. I think he took public transport and he walked like 40 or 45 minutes just to meet me for 2 minutes and he just go back. Different effort. Yeah. Yeah, back to JX. Yeah, the only scenario I'm expecting on Kiwi dollar is this. BTC outlook ferry. I think you're late. I talked about BTC already. You can have a look at the replay. So technically speaking, we're bullish. If price goes back to 92K, you can look for a buy attempt. If we broke below 92, then you start looking for sell. For now, it's very bullish. Just now, one of our traders asked me if he can go long based on this BNR here. You can see a break and a retest, right? Personally, I'm not looking to take this kind of short-term BNR. It's not enough for me, not enough information, not enough confluence. I don't rate this as a high quality one. So let's have a look at Canadian yen from Ravi. So cat yen. I don't think I have cat yen here. So let's have a look at Canadian yen. So on the daily, okay, so this is what I normally say, a mix of direction. So we have some indecision here. Because you see, we have price defending the support at 101.8. That's a bullish signal, definitely on a high time frame. But on the lower time frame, we have price printing bearish market structure. So we have low high, low high, low high. So when I see this kind of price action, I normally would still short it. So I'll share with you all the thought process. Because me as a short-term trader, I still care more about what's happening right now. If I were to trade, I would still short it around 105.60 resistance, which is the previous swing high zone. And only if I get stopped out, if let's say I short it here and price stops me out, then I'll start flipping my direction completely. In this kind of price action or this kind of scenario, I'm allowed to flip my direction because the market direction is over mixed. We have long-term bullish, short-term bearish. So you just have to adapt more. I would still say I will short it at 105.55, which is the previous swing high, the previous resistance. Only if it breaks above, then I will flip my direction. Okay, Ravi. So go to pound yen for YY. Pound yen. I also talked about pound yen previously. My overall direction on pound yen is still bearish. It's still bearish. Shenrong, yeah, so late. We already talked about Kiwi dollar. So my overall direction is still bearish on pound yen, mainly because price is still rejecting this intermediate resistance, right? But I'm more focused on here. So when I see this kind of price action again, it's very similar to how I treat Canadian yen. I would like to see pound yen close below this 191.77 zone. Then I'll look for a TPF short. That's it. YY. So hi Neil, you get it, YY? So it's very simple. So I'm still looking for a TPF short. Would I go long or not? I won't. If I were to go long on pound yen, price position is definitely not good. So I'm still sticking to the sell side because lower time frame we're still printing bearish market structure. Okay, so we have swing high here, swing high here, swing high here. Then we have a key swing high here again. So overall, it's still bearish. Okay, so Nash say we're learning. Come to London and you'll see. Sure. Uh, so Jamal say I started last week overwhelmed by the trading content. Gonna go through the pattern. Feel like I must focus on one pattern first. Correct. If you're new, focus on TPF and BNR because they are based on a more mechanical rule. And also they're based on horizontal support and resistance. Flag, all these patterns, they require more experience. Yeah, I'll just say that. So euro dollar outlook from AT. So euro dollar overall is still bullish, but I'm still waiting for a deeper retracement. I would say an ideal pullback entry that I can see will be around 1.1190. So if price comes back to 1.1190, it is a level where I'll be watching for potential BNR long to the upside. Okay, so very simple on this one, AT. Jason say, if there is FOMC news, you have mentioned avoiding dollar pairs, but will it affect gold? Of course, FOMC affects almost everything. So Tang say, is there any lipstick on the letter? No lipstick, probably sweat. Um, we're talking about Shengrong. Sorry. So Shengrong, so just a very quick recap. We're still looking for long, but I personally will be looking for potential long of 0.5868. Okay. So JX asked, what is the lower time frame you will go to enter a trade? For me, right now is 1 hour chart. Okay. So are you taking this BNR euro dollar? Personally, I'm not yet because I'm focusing on gold short. I only like to enter $1 position at a time or 1 yen position at a time. I don't like to take multiple dollar positions at the same time. So I'm still leaning more towards gold. Why? So the big question is because I've already had 2 wins on gold. I always say stick to the winner. You get it? Who is that? Nash, yeah. If I took 2 wins on gold, I would still stick to gold. If you're looking to trade euro dollar, you can take it. Because I already say this is also a very high quality setup. That means it's approved. The setup is approved. So Chris, would gold 3242 TPF worth to try? Lower time frame? Would go, man. Would gold 3242 TPF worth a try? 3242. Yeah, you can definitely. I can see what you're looking at. Yeah, just go for it, Chris. If you see it, just take it. Don't because of me, you don't take it. Because if you observe, most of my entries are based on a deeper retracement. That means there's opportunity or there's probability where I'll miss out. So stick to it, Chris. Okay. So any more question? If no question, then we'll call it the end of the session. Okay. Chris, any question you can text me personally as well.
Oi,
Okay. Why Tai Hong just open the mic and say "Oi" and then stop talking again? No, sure. Okay, so that's it for the session, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye.